Harley's dominance is cracking, and Indian just drove the Dagger in deeper. A bold new lineup just dropped, and it hits harder, rides smarter, and costs less. If you think Harley still owns the road, think again. Watch till number 1, because this changes everything you thought about American bikes. Number 7. Indian Scout Rogue 60. Let's kick this off with the one bike that's turning heads for all the right reasons. It's the most affordable entry on this list, but don't mistake low cost for low impact. But the industry has changed, and today, the Scout Rogue 60 steps up as a serious contender for riders who want real American muscle without the bulk or the price tag. In this lightweight cruiser, Indian delivers stripped-down aggression, everyday usability, and a cleaner, more modern design aimed squarely at new and returning riders. It skips the chrome and fluff in favor of low bars, blacked-out styling, and a commanding street presence that feels every bit like a modern classic. This machine is powered by a liquid-cooled 999 cubic centimeter V twin engine that produces 78 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by a single disc at the front and rear, each supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of telescopic front forks and dual rear shocks tuned for a balanced ride. The Scout Rogue 60 has a wet weight of 545 pounds, a seat height of 25.6 inches, and a starting price of $10,749. In the saddle, the Scout Rogue 60 is low, lean, and confident. Its forward foot controls and mini-ape handlebars put the rider in a natural upright stance with a slight lean toward the tank, making it feel assertive without being uncomfortable. The bike's compact profile and lightweight chassis mean tight U-turns, slow-speed maneuvering, and urban navigation are all smooth and intuitive, even for less experienced riders. Unlike older air-cooled cruisers, this one starts clean every time, runs cool in traffic, and never feels underpowered when pulling onto the freeway. It is cruiser simplicity done right, without the quirks and compromises that used to come with the category. Stylistically, the Scout Rogue 60 makes no apologies. Its blackout treatment, chopped fenders, and aggressive front stance speak directly to riders who want presence without flash. There are no faux fins or retro gimmicks here, just a clean silhouette that carries real weight at the curb. The small, round headlamp and solo seat keep the look tight and purposeful, while cast wheels and a minimalist tank badge add to its no-nonsense appeal. It is everything an entry-level cruiser should be: authentic, capable, and built to last. But what truly separates the Scout Rogue 60 from the competition is how well it holds its line at speed. It does not wander or wobble. It does not chatter over road imperfections. It feels planted, composed, and trustworthy in a way that builds rider confidence from the very first mile. And for older riders looking for something that brings back the feeling of their first cruiser without any of the maintenance headaches, this bike gets the job done, quietly and without compromise. There's clean design, and then there's raw presence. The machine coming up next proves that a stripped-down style doesn't mean stripped-down power. If you're watching this and nodding along, hit the like button. It helps more riders find the truth behind these machines. And if you've ever owned a Harley or an Indian, drop your take in the comments. Your experience could be what helps someone else make the right choice. Number 6. Indian Chief Bobber Darkhorse. Stepping into deeper territory, this machine doesn't ride past you. It rolls in like a storm. It's American muscle, refined and rearmed for riders who want presence without compromise. The Chief Bobber Darkhorse is one of those machines. Built on timeless American muscle and shaped by stripped-down aggression, this is a heavyweight cruiser that doesn't just show up, it rolls in like it owns the road. It is for riders who respect the past but refuse to be trapped in it. This bike feels familiar but sharper, classic but unfiltered. It is everything a modern big twin cruiser should be. Bold, clean, and full of real steel and attitude. It is powered by a Thunderstroke engine measuring 1,890 cubic centimeters that delivers 120 horsepower and 120 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual disc brakes in the front and a single disc in the rear, all supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. The suspension setup includes a telescopic fork in the front and a dual shock swing arm in the rear. Wet weight is 698 pounds. Seat height is 26 inches. Starting price lands at $18,999. In the saddle, the Chief Bobber Darkhorse delivers the kind of grunt you feel deep in your chest. Twist the throttle and it surges forward with confidence. It is not twitchy, it is not noisy, it is tuned to move with authority. The ergonomics are laid back with forward controls and mini-ape handlebars that give you a straight arm riding position and a wide grip on the street. Whether you are rolling through small towns or heading across state lines, it keeps your body relaxed and your posture grounded. This is a true cruiser, not a sport bike in disguise, and it carries the road with maturity. What separates this bike is its stripped-down visual stance. Blacked-out engine, chopped fenders, solo seat, and beefy front tire all work together to give it a muscular silhouette without drifting into cartoon territory. It is a bike for riders who prefer torque over technology and power over polish, but that does not mean it is bare bones. A 4-inch round digital display sits in the tank and gives you access to ride modes, trip info, navigation, and bike data, all without pulling your eyes off the road. The display is subtle, functional, and blends in with the look instead of shouting for attention. Riders who have spent years on bigger bikes will notice the tight handling at low speeds and the refined feel at higher ones. There is no belt slap, no clunky shifts, no wandering in a crosswind. The chassis is stiff and the geometry tight, which means you feel every curve, not in your lower back but through the bars and seat. This bike wants to be ridden, not polished in a garage or hauled on a trailer. For many older riders, it brings back the feel of their first heavyweight, just cleaner, stronger, and better put together. Tradition can be powerful, but only when it's paired with precision. The following model doesn't just honor heritage, it sharpens it. We linked all the gloves, jackets, and riding gear we trust in the description below. No hype, just stuff that works. Number 5. Indian FTR 1200R Carbon. Breaking from tradition, this next ride wasn't born for highways. It was raised on the track and built for the street. It brings flat track aggression to everyday riding in a way Harley never dared. The FTR 1200R Carbon belongs firmly in the second category. Inspired by Indian's championship-winning flat-track machines, this street-focused weapon offers a raw, connected riding experience with just the right amount of refinement. It is not a traditional cruiser and does not try to be. Instead, it appeals to riders who want American muscle in a tighter, more athletic frame, something that grips the asphalt as well as it grabs your attention. Power comes from a liquid-cooled 1203 cubic centimeter V-twin that produces 120 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. Braking is provided by dual front discs with Brembo 4-piston calipers and a single disc in the rear, supported by a cornering-sensitive anti-lock braking system. Suspension is handled by fully adjustable inverted front forks and a piggyback monoshock in the rear. Wet weight is 508 pounds. Seat height is 33.1 inches. Starting price is $16,499. Everything about the FTR 1200R Carbon is tuned for engagement. From the moment the engine fires up, it invites a more aggressive posture. The riding position is upright but leaned forward slightly, with a flat handlebar and rear-set foot controls that encourage control without sacrificing comfort. Throttle response is crisp but manageable, making it just as usable in weekday traffic as it is on weekend back roads. The torque comes in early and stays steady through the mid-range, giving the rider precise roll-on acceleration without having to constantly work the gearbox. Styling is a blend of carbon fiber, muscle, and minimalism. The tank cover, front fender, and headlight nacelle are all carbon fiber, giving the bike a premium feel without unnecessary weight. The trellis frame is exposed and finished in a contrasting color that accentuates the chassis geometry. Twin low-mounted exhausts hug the profile tightly, maintaining ground clearance while reinforcing the bike's balanced appearance. There are no fake covers or extra panels. What you see is exactly what you ride. Riders coming from heavier cruisers or large touring machines will feel an immediate difference in agility. The FTR tracks through corners with stability and confidence without the body roll or resistance that often plagues larger bikes. And with the advanced ride modes, rain, standard, and sport, you can tailor throttle sensitivity and traction control to match road conditions and personal preferences. Each setting makes a noticeable difference, giving the rider added peace of mind without overwhelming the experience with options. This machine speaks to the rider who still wants something American, but is no longer impressed by chrome or bulk. It is a statement that performance and heritage are not mutually exclusive. Indian has taken its racing legacy and applied it directly to the road, offering something Harley never managed to bring to market when it walked away from the Bronx project. This is not a compromise, it is a declaration of intent. Corner carving ends here. What follows is built not for lean angles, but for open highways and full-day escapes. Number 4. Indian Super Chief Limited. For the riders who crave distance, this machine bridges classic comfort with modern power. It's not just built for the road, it's built to own it, 1 mile at a time. The Super Chief Limited does both. It speaks to riders who remember what long-distance riding used to feel like, before infotainment screens and rider modes became the focus. This bike offers a proper mix of comfort, style, and raw power wrapped in a traditional cruiser silhouette. With leather bags, floorboards, and wide bars, it is built for riders who still believe that the road is best experienced at 55 miles per hour with nothing but wind and torque between you and the horizon. It runs on a Thunderstroke engine measuring 1,890 cubic centimeters, producing 120 horsepower and 120 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by dual front discs and a single rear disc, all linked to a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension comes from a telescopic fork up front and a dual-shock swing arm in the rear. Wet weight is 679 pounds. Seat height is 26 inches. The starting price is $20,499. The Super Chief Limited earns its name by doing things the old-fashioned way. Strong lines, real metal, and a riding posture built for all-day comfort. The wide handlebar and floorboard setup create a natural seating triangle, letting your legs stretch and your back stay upright. With a low center of gravity and a soft but supportive seat, this bike carries its weight without ever feeling top-heavy. Add in the quick-release windshield and you have a setup that is equally at home on a quick back road loop or a cross-state haul. From a styling perspective, it captures the essence of classic American touring without looking like a copy of anything. The full fenders, chrome touches, and leather saddlebags bring the heritage look together, while the subtle tank badging and blackout engine components ground it in the present. The headlight nacelle is old-school round, and the speedometer sits proud on the tank, right where it belongs. But the moment you press the start button, it becomes clear. This is no museum piece. It is smooth, powerful, and mechanically confident in every gear. Riders who have spent years on touring platforms like the Road King will feel immediately at home here. It does not have a complex screen, but it gives you everything you need on the small digital display built into the tank-mounted gauge. You get gear position, trip data, fuel range, and ride mode indicators, all without needing a separate touchscreen. The mechanical simplicity is part of its appeal. Fewer distractions. More road. That is what the Super Chief Limited was built to deliver. This bike is a reminder that touring comfort does not need to come with 200 buttons and a 5-minute startup process. Just throw a leg over, turn the key, and roll out. The torque will carry you, the wind will guide you, and the ride will remind you why you started riding in the first place. Long-haul comfort has a new benchmark, but the machine we're about to cover pushes performance even further into heavyweight territory. Number 3. Indian Pursuit Darkhorse. If full-dress touring has a future, this machine is leading it. With advanced tech, commanding torque, and effortless control, it changes what a bagger can really be. The Pursuit Darkhorse does both, and it does so without apology. For years, the Road Glide and the Street Glide defined what full-dress American touring looked like. But now Indian has thrown down a new blueprint, one built on performance, control, and long-range power that does not weigh you down with unnecessary bulk. This is not a rework of an old platform. It is a purpose-built touring machine that challenges everything riders thought they knew about the class. This motorcycle is powered by a liquid-cooled 1768 cubic centimeter Power Plus V twin engine that produces 122 horsepower and 128 pound-feet of torque. Braking is delivered by dual front discs and a single rear disc, all governed by a standard cornering-aware anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork and an electronically adjustable rear monoshock. Wet weight is 937 pounds. Seat height is 26.5 inches. Starting price is $27,999. Climb into the saddle and the Pursuit Darkhorse immediately sets itself apart. The ergonomics are relaxed but locked in. Floorboards keep your feet planted, and the swept-back handlebars fall into a natural position without any reach. The seat is sculpted for long-haul comfort, offering strong lumbar support while keeping both rider and passenger firmly grounded. At cruising speeds, the power delivery is seamless. Twist the throttle in 6th gear and it responds without hesitation, perfect for highway passes, uphill grades, or just putting space between you and the pack. On the technology side, the Pursuit Darkhorse offers more than just screen size. The 7-inch touchscreen includes Apple CarPlay, navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, and integrated vehicle data. But unlike many systems, this one is intuitive. Glove-friendly controls and clear menu structure make it a functional tool, not a distraction. Ride modes allow you to adjust throttle response and traction control between standard, sport, and rain. Electronic preload lets you adapt the suspension to your weight and gear with the push of a button. And built-in heating elements keep the grips and seats comfortable long after the sun goes down. Visually, the bike stays grounded in classic touring form, but with sharper angles and blackout finishes that speak to modern taste. The fixed fairing adds wind protection without front-end flop, and the aggressive LED lighting cuts clean through weather and traffic. Integrated saddlebags and a top trunk offer massive storage capacity with electronic locking mechanisms. Every surface, from the fairing to the bag lids, feels intentional and refined. There is no wasted space, no cheap materials, just smart engineering and clean design. For riders who have owned a road glide or street glide, the Pursuit Darkhorse feels like the next evolution. Familiar but undeniably more advanced. The ride is quieter, the frame more stable, and the engine delivers usable torque across the board. And when you add it all up, power, comfort, technology, and presence, it becomes clear that this is no longer just a viable alternative. It is a legitimate threat. Touring might be where the battle started, but the next entry revives a legacy built on attitude, muscle, and balance. Number 2. Indian Sport Chief. For those who want grit with grip, this one delivers. It blends stripped-down looks with premium handling to create a true performance cruiser that doesn't flinch at a challenge. The Sport Chief proves that performance, attitude, and American steel are more than enough. This bike was not built for parades or polish, it was built for the rider who leans into the throttle, not just the mirror. It keeps the low-slung silhouette of a classic cruiser, but upgrades everything under the skin. With sharper geometry, premium suspension, and real stopping power, this machine does not follow the old rules. It rewrites them. It runs on a Thunderstroke engine measuring 1,890 cubic centimeters, producing 120 horsepower and 120 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front discs with 4-piston Brembo calipers and a single disc in the rear, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension features a performance-tuned inverted telescopic fork in the front and dual piggyback Fox shocks in the rear. Wet weight is 677 pounds. Seat height is 27 inches. Starting price is $18,999. From the moment you throw a leg over the Sport Chief, it feels focused. The mid-mounted foot controls bring your knees in tight to the tank, and the motocross-style handlebars pull your shoulders forward just enough to keep you aggressive without burning out your back. The bike responds instantly to input, especially in low-speed turns and hard cornering. That is thanks to its stiffer frame geometry and higher-end suspension, a rare combination in a heavyweight cruiser. But it never feels nervous. It holds its line like a rail and powers out of corners with real authority. The power delivery is broad and flexible. You can ride it like a laid-back cruiser in 6th gear or drop it into 3rd and let the torque rip. The engine feels alive without ever being twitchy. It has the deep pulse of an American twin, but without the lag or clunkiness found in older air-cooled setups. The gear shifts are clean, the clutch is light, and even in traffic, the cooling system keeps the heat off your legs. This is not just a warmed-over cruiser with upgraded bars, it is a purpose-built machine for riders who still like to push a little. The styling speaks to modern riders with traditional tastes. A quarter fairing leads the front end, paired with a blacked-out engine and a low-profile solo seat that hugs the rear fender. There are no flames, no fake fins, just clean lines and high-end finishes that feel built, not bolted on. Even the lighting is tight, fully LED, but with classic shapes that do not shout for attention. This is what a muscle cruiser should look like in the modern era. The Sport Chief makes a strong case for itself. It delivers premium hardware, serious torque, and a level of handling Harley-Davidson has yet to match in the segment. This is not a part spin special or a style exercise. It is a serious machine built for serious riders. And while Harley once owned this lane, the Sport Chief is now leading it. This final machine doesn't compete. It redefines. If any motorcycle on this list is built to replace the throne, it's this one. If this list is making you rethink what American motorcycles can be, subscribe now. We cover what others won't, and the last bike on this list might just prove Indian isn't chasing Harley anymore. It's leading. Stick around, because what comes next could change the road ahead forever. Number 1. Indian Challenger Elite. Crowning the list is the bike that doesn't just raise the bar, it breaks it. Power, comfort, and tech come together here in a package that may finally outshine the king. The Challenger Elite is not a concept bike or a marketing gimmick. It is the most advanced, most powerful, and most complete American bagger ever offered from the factory. While Harley-Davidson fine-tunes familiar formulas, Indian has built something unapologetically new. This machine redefines what a heavyweight touring motorcycle can be. From long-haul comfort to cutting-edge engineering, it represents the future of American muscle wrapped in undeniable presence. Underneath the streamlined fairing is a liquid-cooled 1,768 cubic centimeter Power Plus V twin that produces 122 horsepower and 128 pound-feet of torque. Braking is provided by dual front discs with 4-piston Brembo calipers and a single rear disc, all integrated into a cornering-sensitive anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork and an electronically adjustable rear monoshock with preload settings for varying loads. Wet weight comes in at 875 pounds. Seat height is 26.5 inches. Starting price is $36,499. The Challenger Elite delivers a riding experience that balances brute power with precise control. The frame-mounted fairing stays steady at speed and eliminates front-end flop, giving the rider total command in all conditions. The torque arrives early and stays flat, making this bagger incredibly responsive even under full load. Roll-on acceleration is instant even in top gear, which makes overtaking feel effortless on the highway. The 6-speed transmission is smooth and deliberate, and the ride modes, standard, sport, and rain, alter the bike's character without complicating the experience. Comfort has not been overlooked. The saddle is sculpted, supportive, and heated. The grips are heated as well, with easy toggles that can be operated with gloves on. The floorboards are wide and positioned for long-haul stability, while the passenger seat includes a supportive backrest for full-day rides. Wind protection is adjustable on the fly with a push-button windshield that raises and lowers to suit speed, height, and weather. Everything on the Challenger Elite is designed for mileage, not just movement. Technologically, it sets the benchmark. A 7-inch touchscreen built with Indian's Ride command system includes navigation, traffic updates, Apple CarPlay, and Bluetooth audio. A 100-watt per channel audio system powered by a built-in amplifier fills the cockpit with clarity even at highway speed. Tire pressure monitoring, cruise control, lean angle sensitive traction control, and vehicle diagnostics are all standard. And none of it gets in the way. It simply works, which is exactly what riders in this segment demand. Visually, the Challenger Elite makes its presence known without shouting. Custom-inspired paint, blackout finishes, precision pinstriping, and deep gloss work together to give this motorcycle a premium presence. The fit and finish hold up under close inspection. Even the lighting, fully LED from front to rear, adds definition without becoming ornamental. This is a bike built to be ridden hard and admired often. The Challenger Elite is not an alternative to Harley-Davidson. It is the answer to a question the market has been asking for too long. What comes next? In every measurable way, power, tech, comfort, and capability, it delivers more. And for riders ready to move past tradition without leaving American heritage behind, this machine is not just a new chapter. It is the new standard. If you're still here, then you already know this wasn't just a lineup. It was a wake-up call. Indian isn't trying to catch up to Harley. They're building smarter, riding harder, and connecting with the riders Harley forgot. From entry-level torque to long-haul dominance, they've hit every mark that matters. So if you felt that shift, if one of these bikes made you think twice, now's the time to act. Subscribe for more unfiltered takes on the future of American motorcycles. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us where your loyalty stands. Because what's coming next isn't about nostalgia, it's about the next chapter of the road, and you don't want to be the last one to catch up.